I've been playing video games for most of my life, and over the course of my time playing them, I've learned a couple of interesting lessons that I want to go over today. So, one of them is that in video games, often when you don't know where to go in an open world game, you start to look for where there are enemies. The enemies will guide you towards the objective because wherever there are enemies, you haven't explored yet and defeated them. And this is interesting because in life, we tend to seek comfort and avoid challenges. But in video games, we actively seek out the challenges because that's where the progression and the fun is. So the same is true for life. If you seek out the obstacles, you will find the path. You'll find the way forward. Another lesson is in video games, we're willing to grind, which is to do repetitive actions over and over again, such as killing the same monster repeatedly to try to get one of its drops to upgrade your character. But in life, we get so bored quickly with repetitively doing the same thing over and over again. Many jobs will require, a bit of tedium at the beginning, especially to get going, and will, require some repetitive actions over and over as you try to get the hang of things and improve a certain skill. For example, cold calling, you're going to have to make thousands of cold calls before you become reasonably good at it. So, in the same way, we can learn from video games that grinding in real life involves repetitive consistency, like going to the gym for years, right? Every week for years. Other examples from video games involve the idea of tuning the difficulty level, right? So, if you play the video game on the easiest difficulty, it usually isn't a lot of fun. The same is true for life. If life is too easy, we tend to get disengaged and bored with it, and then we're not really doing our best, nor are we growing as well as we could. In video games as well, when you seek harder enemies, your character gets stronger. The same is true in real life. So I feel like somehow we've compartmentalized video games and life, where we play one way but we live a different, where actually a lot of the lessons from games really do apply to life. One lesson I learned from Hearthstone, a card game that I played, was basically the idea that the result is not as important as the data that led to the decision. So there are times where you'll use the information you had and you'll make a decision and the outcome will be bad. But if you review the decision, you might find that it was still the correct decision, you just got unlucky. And the next time you should make the exact same decision. It's playing with odds, right? So it's good to avoid unnecessary results based thinking and thinking, oh, because a bad outcome happened, I must have made a bad decision. Sometimes you made the right decision and you just have to repeat that decision again the next time. And eventually things will work out the correct way. I think that's basically all the lessons I've learned from video games. Another one, I guess, is really that cooperation will often beat domination. This is true in like online games, multiplayer games, where you find that grouping together, working together towards a common objective is much more effective than trying to tear people down or do everything yourself. And you'll find this is true in most workplace settings as well, is collaboration ends up being so much more effective than trying to take all the credit, do everything yourself. You just end up burnt out. And none of us is as smart as all of us, ultimately. Until next time, take care.